seated.
Yes, Your Honor, we're here today for sentencing in the state of Ohio versus Rashiya Vanderhorst, case number 24 CR 618. Ms. Vanderhorst is present in open court today with her attorney, Ms. Nicolette Tomazik. At the last proceeding, Your Honor, which was held May 6th this year, the defendant pled guilty to one count, that being escape, a felony 5 under 2921.34A1. Your Honor accepted the plea and ordered that the defendant undergo a PSR evaluation. As well, you also ordered, Your Honor, a victim impact statement. We have read the PSR report, Your Honor. We are ready for sentencing. There is no prior agreement as to sentencing. Finally, Your Honor, it appears the defendant has 61 days of jail time served. Thank you.
Ms. Tomazik.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We would like to ask the court today to place Ms. Vanderhorst on probation. And speaking with Ms. Vanderhorst, she is ready to get home to her children. She does have 4 children. Her son is 12 years old, but he does live with his dad. Her 3 younger children are age 6, 8, and 9. They're currently with her mom in her care. It's been a bit of a struggle for her mom because her mom's a little bit older. And speaking of Ms. Vanderhorst, she does have a plan in place for herself if you were to allow her an opportunity on community control. She did enroll in Edwin's courses. It's for culinary arts. She indicated to me she completed the online portion. There's still the in-person portion to do. She indicated she wanted to stay on campus in the area because it will assist, the way the course is set up, it assists her with more than just the courses. She also has been in contact with an individual with the reentry program in Cuyahoga County. She indicated to me her name is Miss Chris. Miss Chris will help her with assisting with housing and jobs. She currently does have an apartment, but I do believe she does want to try to get out of the area and get a new apartment and wants to get her life together, be there for her daughters. She wants to work. She wants to be a successful member of society. So, Your Honor, if you would allow her a chance on probation. I know she is currently on probation in Cuyahoga County as well. She's required to report every 6 months. I did indicate to Ms. Vanderhorst that if you want to place her on probation.
You report when?
Once every 6 months, Your
What,
Honor.
are you shitting me? What the hell is that?
Your Honor, I explained to her that Cuyahoga County and Lake County with probation are much different. I advised her Lake County.
What are the terms of probation in Cuyahoga?
I don't know the terms off the top.
This is for the F4 burglary?
Yes.
Report every 6 months.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. 20 hours of community service. Jesus, they're working too hard down there. I don't know how they can keep up with how do they keep up with the caseload? Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, I indicated to Ms. Vanderhorst,
Jesus Christ.
even though she's on probation in Cuyahoga County, Lake County has a very different dynamic. She is willing to do
I
absolutely
mean,
anything.
they don't want to do anything with her. They just want to get her off of probation. That's their goal, regardless of whether she does anything.
Yep, and she indicated to me she needs the assistance, she needs the help. She wants to get her life on track. She's trying to be as proactive as she can be on her own. So I think the assistance with the Lake County Probation Department would be very beneficial to her. She indicated she might have some difficulty with transportation, but I explained that she could take the bus, Uber. She is willing to do whatever she needs to do to make sure she makes it out to Lake County. Like I said, she wants to be able to be there for her kids, be a good example for her kids, and she wants to be able to succeed. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Vanderhorst, what do you want to tell me?
I first want to apologize. I feel, I can't explain, it's shameful, my decisions. You know, I've been away from my kids for all this year, and it hurts, you know, for me to make dumb decisions, and now they have to deal with my presence being gone, and it just was the dumbest decision I could have ever made. And
Well, tell me about what you were doing that day.
Well, I told my sister I didn't want to go to Walmart. She was like, well, just come on. So I'm like, okay, I went. And then, you know, didn't have a job, so I was trying to get the bare minimum for my apartment. I went in, I took 2 items, well, attempted to take 2 items. I took a TV and an air mattress. And I left the air mattress on the
What kind of
property.
TV?
A TV for your home, like a 32-inch, I think.
Okay.
And My sister's like, the police are coming. I'm like, what? So, you know, I attempted to run, but I was kind of out of breath, so they found me in someone's shed.
Didn't take them very long to find you.
No, and then they arrested me. I came here, then I got into the police car. I don't know what I was thinking. Handcuffs was loose. I said, well, okay, I'll just slip them off a little bit. And then I had held the window down, and I stuck my arm out. I was, dumb decision, and opened the car door, but my arm got stuck. So then they tried to break my arm to get it back in, and that's how I caught the escape charge.
Where did you think you were gonna go?
I don't even know. Because it was like I had just got out of county. I wasn't even out 7 days. So my anxiety kicked in, and I was like, oh my God, I can't go back to jail. I don't want to go back to jail. I don't know where I was going, Your Honor, to be honest. I just was not thinking at the time. I was just reacting. Scared.
What happened with this Cuyahoga charge that happened on January 3rd of this year?
I was at a friend's house, and the police came knocking on the door, and of course I had a warrant for you guys. They had apprehended me, and I caught a couple charges. They dropped most of them, and I sat in the county for 3.5 months to April 25th. Then Lake County came and got me, and then I came here.
Okay, so what drugs did you have on this Cleveland one?
It was cocaine.
Okay. Why did you have cocaine?
Well, I was using someone's, at the wrong place at the wrong time. I wasn't thinking. I should have kind of,
How long have you been using cocaine?
like a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Why'd you start using it?
Depressed, stressed out, financial, I was in a bad space at the time. I was in a bad space.
Did the cocaine make it better?
Actually, Your Honor, it really made it worse, to be honest with you.
I'm shocked at that.
I thought it made it better, but it didn't, you know? It was I'm a feelings user, so it was like trying to numb the pain, but it actually made my life and my situation way worse.
Where do you live?
I stay on Cedar, downtown, on 30th and Cedar.
Who do you live with?
I stay by myself. I have my own apartment.
Okay, what about your kids? Where do they live?
They're with my mom. They're with my mom right now, but they stay with me.
Where does she live?
She stays on 138th and Kinsman.
Where do they go to school?
They go to school off of Broadway Academy.
What grades are they in?
I'm sorry. My daughters will be in 3rd grade. The 9-year-old will be in 4th grade. My 8-year-old will be in 3rd grade, and my 6-year-old will be in 2nd grade.
Okay.
My son is about to be in 6th grade, I believe.
Why, a couple of years back, out of your Cuyahoga case, from 19 and from 20, you were in Katz, and you left there. Why'd you leave there?
I had left there because they had a point system, and I was at my max for the point system, so I was going to go back to Cuyahoga County. So I left. And
How do you get points for what?
It could be anything. It could be a write-up. It could be from out of area, not going to a group.
Okay.
It could be any sort of thing. It's like they have like 11-point system, you know. And I didn't want to go back to Cuyahoga County, so I left, and then I enrolled in Hitchcock.
And then what happened there?
I completed the program.
That's not what, the information I get is you went AWOL from Hitchcock.
No. See, what had happened was I completed the sober living the inpatient part, and I went to sober living. After I did a few months in sober living, because I had my kids there with me as well, I had left. I didn't know that I had to do the aftercare and all that stuff, because sober living was a part of my decision. I could have left when I graduated, because that's why they looked at my warrant, because I had graduated the inpatient part.
But you told me you'd only been using cocaine for a year.
Yes.
So this goes back to
2000, yeah, that's how I had to do treatment in lieu of conviction.
Okay, so
for those felonies to get off my record. I had picked treatment and little conviction, so I had to go to a rehab.
How old are you?
32.
Okay, so you've been wasting a lot of time, right?
Yes.
I mean, like 10 years of time from your record, from smaller stuff up to bigger stuff. So why do you keep wasting time?
Your Honor, you know what?
How much time do you think there is?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Not a lot. And I've actually came to that conclusion, like, I was in my cell and I said, you know what, I have wasted a lot of time. And it's kind of overwhelming because now I want to put all the pieces back together, and it's so many pieces to put together. And I'm only one person, so I can just do what I can. But I'm tired of wasting time. It's like 2025, my kids are not getting younger, they're getting older, I'm getting older. And I'm just tired of being the black sheep left behind. I want to do something with myself.
What?
I do want to go to school for culinary. I like cooking. I want to travel. I just want to live my life. I want my kids to be happy. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want me to be happy, you know? I want a bright future, you know? I want to do something. I want to be able to take trips with no worries. I want to be able to go places and not look behind me and say, oh my God, I got to run. You know, I just want to do the right thing. I'm tired. I can't take it no more.
All right, listen, you want to do a lot of stuff, but you can't do a lot of stuff unless you do a lot of stuff that allows you to do a lot of stuff. Okay? So you got to stop taking the drugs. You got to go to work every day. You got to take care of your kids, because they're your kid. They're not your mother's kids, they're your kids. And then if you get into those good habits, then you can do all those lofty things that you want to do. Okay? But it ain't going to happen magically. So if you don't figure out how to stay away from the drugs, and next time who'd you go to Walmart with?
My sister.
Next time your sister calls you to go to Walmart, you decide maybe that ain't a good idea this time.
Especially if I don't have the funds for it.
Right. Right. Because, look, I'm not, I'm going to put you on probation, but you're going to have to do stuff that's beneficial for you, not to please your probation officer, not to please me, not to please your attorney, but to benefit you. And you may think that because I'm not going to give you 20 hours of community service and report every 6 months, okay?
That's fine.
Because when people come in here and they don't want to be set up for failure, that the translation there is that we're giving them too much to do on probation. The exact opposite is true. Cuyahoga sets you up for failure because they ain't making it be accountable for anything. Okay? I mean, you can find somebody in a coma, transport them to Cuyahoga every 6 months, and they've complied with probation. So you're gonna be given things that you have to abide by,
Okay.
so that you succeed. So the next 10 years of your life aren't running in and out of muni courts and common pleas courts like the last 10 years.
Absolutely.
But you got to determine you're going to do it. Mr. Tavanche?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Just for the record, Your Honor, the state's position that the defendant, of course, will have some difficulty abiding rules of probation, She's been given chances before, and she hasn't fully lived up to them. She does have the PV in her past. Just to encapsulate, it appears that she has a history of trying to break free of legal constraints, both physical and abstract. In this case, as we know,
Unsuccessful history.
yes, and that's the point, Your Honor. And so I think I see what's coming. But if I may, in this case, we know that she not broke, but she slipped out of her cuffs and actually managed to get a foot out of a squad car. Your Honor mentioned cats. That actually occurred twice. She, I believe, actually absconded from cats twice, and then, of course, Hitchcock. And my feeling is that the defendant was not being truthful about why she left Hitchcock, or under the circumstances under which she left. Defendant also has an escape adjudication as a juvenile when she left confinement facility. So altogether, doesn't seem very promising, but we will leave it, of course, to the discretion of the court. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I reviewed the pre-sentence report and listened to you, listened to counsel. I'm going to place you on 3 years of community control. You were supposed to be here October 1 for a pretrial. You weren't here, so a warrant was issued. I reinstated your bond and reset the pretrial, and then 10 days after that, you didn't show again. And they found you in Cuyahoga County 6 months later. So I'm putting you on probation. How can I be sure you're going to show up?
To be honest, Your Honor, I'm gonna try my hardest. If I could just, I'm gonna have to see if the courts will let me do it like afternoon time. I don't know how long it's gonna take on the bus to get out here. I don't have a vehicle. And I can't depend on nobody. I did that last time and I ended up missing my court date. So if I could just come in the afternoon, I'll make my way. If I gotta catch 1,000,000 buses, I will, because I gotta start taking accountability somewhere. Start doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm only one person,
No.
so I'll just communicate with the probation department and
I'm
see.
not gonna give you a plan that requires 2 people, just requires you. Okay? You need to take responsibility for you. Nobody's responsibility to take care of you except you. So I'm going to give you 61 days in jail with credit for 61. So you're going to get out.
Thank you.
Now, I could keep you in there and make you do the treatment in there, okay? But I'm not going to do that, okay?
Thank you.
Because I'm going to make you go get some treatment, but you got to get it, okay? We're not doing it. Nobody's doing it for you. It's your responsibility for you to get you treatment. So you're going to go and get an evaluation for drugs and alcohol. And whatever they recommend as far as a treatment plan, that's what you're ordered to do.
Okay.
Now, every time I do that, in a case like this, the entire probation department, all 9 officers over there cringe because they don't think it's going to amount to anything. But I figure it's not our job, okay, to beat this into your head about what you need to do. You need to find out what you need to do. Otherwise, we're just talking to a brick wall. So, unless you want to do this shit some more for the next 10 years, you're going to attempt to figure this out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're to have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened.
Okay.
You're going to obtain full employment Okay, right now you're telling me you're gonna go to Edwin's,
Mm-hmm.
so you're to be either full-time employed or full-time in school, or a combination that amounts to full-time.
Okay,
If it's half school, then it's half work, until you finish this schooling, and then you're to be full-time employed. How long is the Edwin's program?
it's up to 6 months,
Okay.
and then they have another course for business. I don't know if I was thinking about taking that because I do want to have my own little restaurant or something like that. So, but it's up to 6 months for the cooking part, the culinary part.
All right, well, first things first, okay?
Yeah.
When's the last time you had a driver's license? Have you ever had a driver's license?
Yes, I've had a license, maybe 2017 or 15 or 16.
All right, well, you're gonna get one.
Okay.
Can't do the decision points program, right? They don't have it for females?
They do not.
Every time I ask that question, it's my hope that somebody's gonna tell me, well, we just started one. The other thing I want you to do is are you taking mental health medication right now?
I'm supposed to, but no.
What are you supposed to be taking?
Prozac, Buspar, and that's it.
Who prescribes that?
I did when I was in CATS, I talked to, I think the lady was from Signature Health, the psychologist.
Okay. So I want you to, when's the last time you saw a psychologist or psychiatrist for the purpose of the mental health medication?
It's been a couple years.
Okay, so you're gonna also get a mental health evaluation again
Okay.
to find out where you're currently at
Okay.
and follow whatever recommendations they make.
Okay.
Now, you're only gonna see one doctor, and you're only gonna see one dentist and one pharmacy for any medication you're prescribed. If you need to see another doctor for any reason, you need to tell your probation officer who that is so we know who it is.
Okay.
If you are prescribed medication, you're to take it only as prescribed.
Okay.
And you're gonna sign releases so probation department can get your records. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that if you mix prescribed medication with stuff like cocaine and marijuana, it doesn't do any good. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Knaus, any other terms?
Your Honor, the defendant did express interest in obtaining the GED.
Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
You know what you should do then?
What?
Get your GED. Anything else, Mr. Tavanche?
Quick question, Your Honor, with regard to the GED, is that something that you would like? Thank you.
Nope, that's something she wants to do. So she should do that for herself.
Thank you. Also, with any language with regard to PRC, Your Honor?
Nope.
And dismissal of the balance
Yep.
and bond, Your Honor?
Really?
Thank you.
Ms. Thomas.
I have nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
ball is in your court, Ms. Vanderhorst.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.